Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 9 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone had a great weekend, safe weekend. Let's kick off on Monday and make it a great week, folks. Let's take a look at one of our 4 agreements. Love is kind and just. When you're in love, a smile is always on your face. You feel good about yourself, and because you are happy, you are kind. Love is also just. When you make a mistake, you pay for it only once. You pay only once for that mistake. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We had the Dow Industrials down 34, Nasdaq off 1, S&P's flat. Gold contract up $2, trading at $1,340 an ounce. Silver down 9 cents at $20.83 an ounce. Platinum off $4 at $1,477 an ounce. Copper down 4.5 pennies at $3.11 a pound. Light sweet crude off $1.50 at $101.58 a barrel. Bonds 10-year up 4 ticks at 123.21. 30-year up 2 ticks at 131.07. King dollar up 38 ticks, trading out at 79.76. The euro flat at 138, and the yen flat at 103.23. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world. In the world of the S&Ps, let's take a look. And what do you have? We're hanging at these tops, folks. Bottom line, you're at 1877. We did 563 million shares out here versus 723. You know, you can make the argument that it actually rejected lower price on lighter volume. It's a close one, though, because of the fact that you closed it at the highs. So it's like, are you pushing on highs with light volume, or in fact, did you just reject the low out there at the 1867? We'll get our heads wrapped around that. Dow Industrials. We take a look at the Dow Industrials. What you have with the Dow is this. Dow came down to 16,334, and it looks to me like it rejected that lower price on lighter volume. The reason that where the difference is that the high in the Dow is all the way over there at the 16,588. We get into the composite, the NASDAQ composite. We have with the composite, that was a sideways move. There's a gap in the composite, and you're in the gap right now. The top of that gap is 4284. We got to 4307 today. I suspect that is going to make its way down into that level. We did $2 billion versus $2.1 billion. We go over to the gold contract. We take a look at gold. What we had with gold, she's sideways move out here today. GCJ. So we had 120,000 contracts. You get a sideways move. We're at 1340. Gold looks to me like we get 1285 on the agenda in the next few weeks. Silver had come down really hard last week. I suspect you're going to see a little more pressure on the silver market. What we have had is that we had wide price spread a couple weeks ago on the way up. Silver came right back into that area with a vengeance. And silver is just volatile, period, okay, up or down. But what we do have is that when we came down on Friday, you came down with some real contracts. We came down with 59,000 contracts. We're at 20.84, and that does set up that silver can get into a 1965 area. Bonds, we look at the 10-year bond first, TYM, and what we have with the 10-year is that she went sideways today. So she does 800,000 contracts, and that's saying that the low of Fridays are going to get tested. The low of Friday, 123.10. We're 11 ticks over that right now. That baby will get tested because the amount of volume that we had, that past Friday was big volume. Same with the 30-year. Now, what the 30-year had done, the 30-year had rejected the swing low from the February 12th area. But I do expect that what you probably see the 130.20 area inside that 10-year will get tested once again. King dollar, what we have with King dollar is this. King dollar continues to reject lower price each and every time it's down into the lower end of this area, which is the 79.50. Well, we'll see if it can make its way back inside the 79.95 area. It rejected the lows. Now, once you got back inside 79.95, which is only 200 ticks away, that's saying, guess what? We want to go back to the highs of the consolidation that it's in. Let's go to our man Rick in British Columbia. Hey, Rick, what's going on?
How's your King dollar doing anyway, Tom?
Our King dollar is doing dynamite compared to your Canadian dollar.
Yeah, I know. I really don't know why either. Our dollar's so weak. But anyway, I don't think it's a big market either. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like oil hasn't. We usually follow oil pretty good, but.
Well, you know what you have. We can blame it on Warren Buffett for today.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, because when he bought Heinz ketchup, what he just did is that he just blew away one Providence up there. He just closed the factories up there.
Oh yes, that's in the Maritimes,
Yeah.
just above New England there. Yeah, that's right too. That's right too.
I'm only kidding, but the reality is that you are losing a lot of manufacturing jobs up there.
Yeah, no, we are. But usually when the dollar goes down, that helps us. So,
No, there's no doubt.
Yeah. Tom, I'm just looking at some stocks thinking, okay, can we just keep going higher? Because, I mean, it's basically from 1,800 on a weekly, there's a big gap on lighter volume there. So, I see 18. But look at Citigroup a minute. I put it on a weekly.
Okay.
And now the financials might, I know you brought up the Qs the other day as, if we're going to go lower, they're the ones that are going to lead us lower. I hope I'm right.
How long on a weekly, Rick? 5, 10 years?
Oh, no, a weekly, just go 3 months even.
Okay.
We broke that 52 on lighter volume.
Yes.
And right now all the earnings are out, so I kind of think all the stocks are kind of following each other like geese.
Okay.
And I'm just curious, we technically last week took the swing out with volume. Yeah, we backed off now a little bit, but it looks to me like this thing could go to $52. What do you think? Okay,
so you're saying, I have a weekly up of Citigroup, folks. So what you're saying is that we went to 50.41 last week in the weekly, right? We took out, that 50.14?
Yeah, the first week in February, yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
So I'm just curious if we can't just hang up here a little bit more. And I looked at I wonder if the euro isn't even going to go a little higher in the short term, because from the volumes I see, we kind of did an ABC up on the euro. But, you can look at the FXE. That's not always really clear.
Cool. That's cool. No, I see what you're doing, because what we know, folks, is that there's not volumes. What happens is that you can't get volumes, period, on the currencies. But what Rick's saying, which is valid, we're going to look at the FXE, which is the Euro Trust, just to see how this shakes out. Not there's a lot of volume, but at least it gives you an indication. Okay, so, well, if we look at the FXE, 136.66, you're over that with no volume, though. You see that?
I know.
So that's good, though. Well, that's saying that the euro wants to back down. It totally makes to me, it's a common sense deal that the euro wants to back down. Technically, I'd say that the dollar, even the dollar has to get up, the index itself has to get up, like there's 200 ticks to get back inside the larger range. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when I look at the aspect of just what Draghi had talked about last week, I thought that was one of the most bizarre things I've heard in a long time. And what it was specifically, folks, is that Draghi said that he thinks that inflation will kick in at the end of 2016. And I'm saying to myself, okay, it's March of 2014, That's about the most bizarre statement I ever heard.
And before I sign off, Tom, can you just put the SPYs on a 5-day hourly? And does that not say that we should at least test the highs one more time again? And
let's take a look.
Intraday, I think we even did an ABC up, which doesn't quite reach the highs, but...
yeah, I see it. So what he's saying? No, I see it. I see it. That high of 188.96, and what we didn't have today. There's no doubt. What you looking at this thing today? It's like, hey, listen. The Dow backed off with lighter volume, rejected a lower price. The S&P was close because we didn't get highs, all lows. And it's like, okay, so you're pushing into the high or low, but the Dow is saying that. And if we go over to, let me go over to the Qs just for a second. So if we look at the Qs, you can make the case that the Qs are saying it too. Even though, what we did with the 3 Qs today, folks, you did 17 million shares. You got under the low of Friday, which is 90.07. Friday we had 31 million rejected. It's like, hey, guess what? It's going to make a run too. Yeah.
Yeah, and the most powerful sector lately is the XLF, and just keep an eye on that sucker too. And I think it's going to test the highs too one more time.
Cooking, brother.
Thanks, man.
Have a great one, man. Have a safe one. 877-927-6648. You stay right there, folks. We'll come right back. We had the Dow down 34, NASDAQ off 1, S&Ps are flat. We're going to be right back.